There's something to talk about.
Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco, and yeah, we're covering Harwin from the Song of Ice and Fire lore. He's a Stark household guard with the Brotherhood without banners. It's fantastic. You guys remember Harwin? So if you don't know what's going on here, you can pause. Wait, that's the wrong one. Wait, no, that's the right one, right? Yeah. No, this is for fun. No, there's goes. Pause this, read this, and also spoilers for the book for everything that Harwin does. He goes throughout the book. He hangs out with Ned and then later Arya stuff. So there are some light spoilers. Also, a little bit of house cleaning to do before I start. This is the last video in this area. By the time this video comes out, I would have moved a month ago, right? This is going to be coming out in January. I'm filming this in December, but this is the last time I will be filming in this house. So I'll have a different background. I hope it looks better than this one. And I'll actually have a place to film and I won't just be in the corner of my bedroom. So yeah, let's get into it. Thank you guys. Light spoilers and, do all that YouTube stuff. Smash the like button. Is that what people say? Let's talk about Harwin. So Harwin is a member of household guard of a Lord Eddard Stark at Winterfell. Harwin is a stocky man, clean-shaven appearance, although he always has a beard in most pictures for him. He is known to speak boldly. Yeah, you don't suffer fools. Harwin. Harwin is the son of Hullen, the master of horse at Winterfell. Hullen's great too, but I decided to cover Harwin instead. But yeah, Hullen's good. Harwin offers led Arya Stark often led Arya Stark's pony around the yard at Winterfell during her youth. And then rode at Quintain with Jon Snow and Robb Stark, and he's also known for drinking too much at feast days. Hey, me too. Drink responsibly. Harwin remembers Lyanna Stark's skills at horse riding and was privy to the rumors of Eddard Stark and Lady Ashara Dane. Oh, and yeah, and the affairs as a young boy, no older than Arya. Yeah, he remembers when that happened. Suggesting that he has been stable boy and guard of Winterfell since the services of House Stark since his youth. Yeah, he's been around. Harwin's good. Harwin's great. I like Harwin. He's been, just like a small folk man around Winterfell. So I got another slide. So the second slide is normally the house, but of course he's not part of any house. He's House Harwin. He's just Harwin, son of Hullen. But just like what I did it not too long ago with Ellen, I'm just gonna House Stark for you guys. House Stark of Winterfell is a great house of Westeros in the principal noble house of the North. In days of old, they ruled as kings of winter, but since Aegon's conquest, they are just wardens of the North and rule as lords of Winterfell. Their seat, Winterfell, is an ancient castle renowned for its strength. The Starks have a reputation for long faces, brown hair, and gray eyes. Some are known for their melancholy iciness, like Ned, while others have the wildness, sometimes called wolf blood, like his brother Brandon. Their sigil is a gray direwolf racing across a field of white. Their words are "Winter is coming," one of the only few mottos that is a warning and not a boast, right? There you guys go. Harwin isn't a Stark, but, he's sworn to the Stark, so that's why I went with it. So, yeah, Wolves in the Snow and King's Landing. In the 9th year of summer, Ned Stark is traveling with a party of 20 men, including Harwin, to see the King's Justice done at a holdfast in the hills. Yeah. What's this? The opening scene. Harwin's in the first chapter, in the first book, when they're going up, where Ned has to do the deep hair cutting, if you will, of a Night's Watch deserter who's like, "Hey, the others are back," and they're like, "Shut up." And Bran is brought to watch his dad behead somebody because parenting. I mean, I take my kid to the park, I've never taken her to a beheading, but I guess, me and Ned are slightly different parents. All right. But yeah, Harwin's in that first chapter, yo. That's what I'm getting at. So on the way back to Winterfell, Jon calls up from ahead of them. When they get up there, they see that he and Robb have found, which is a dire wolf, right? So they find Robb holding something in his arm next to the corpse of a wolf larger than Bran's pony. Yeah, it's a big old dire wolf. Jon correctly identifies the corpse as a dire wolf, and Robb is holding one of its pups. Harwin says that they can't do that, and his father says that they should mercy kill the pups. But Ned's kids, they all push back. They're like, no, we want cute direwolf puppies. And all the children get to keep one. Yeah. Ned is like, the scene's a lot bigger than I'm making it out to be, but I just want to bring up that Harwin and Hullen both kind of push back. Like, you guys can't have direwolf puppies. Like, all the puppies are going to die. The mom's dead. And they're like, no, could we have one? And they realize that there's one for every Stark child, and even Ghost for Jon. So Ned's like, all right, but you guys better like take care of them. You're not going to leave them at the stables. You're not going to let the kennel masters take care of them. They're your dogs. And they're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. So yeah, there we go. So Harwin is among the guardsmen who accompany Lord Eddard Stark when he travels south with 50 men. And to assume the office of Hand of the King to King Robert Baratheon. Like the rest of the Stark household, Harwin does nothing to prevent Sandor Clegane from killing the butcher's son Micah. At dinner in King's Landing one day, so we're skipping ahead now, they're all the way down to King's Landing, with the Stark household, Harwin speaks with Desmond, another guardsman, Jory, and then a guy named Jax, and his father Hullen, about the upcoming hands tourney. Yeah, they're just like sitting around having guy talk, right, about the hands tourney and what horses should be used in the joust, because that's all his dad Hullen talks about is horses. That's Hullen's a little one-track minded, all right? Arya Stark thinks about how she used to love listening to men talk, but after the death of a lady and Micah, she hates it. She doesn't like the just small talk and banter. She doesn't like them anymore. She remembers how Harwin always speaks so boldly and resents him for his inaction, and along with the other men. Because they let Micah die. However, Harwin takes part in the hands tourney, but does not fare well, being unhorsed in the first tilt by Meryn Trant. Really? Of the Kingsguard. Yeah, dude, Harwin got beat by Meryn Trant. Deal with it. A lot of people talk crap about Trant, but better than Harwin. Just saying. Well, in a joust. All right, so the Brotherhood. So now we're going to skip pretty far, right? As Hand of the King, Ned hears a petition. Well, actually, we're not. All right, we'll skip pretty far in a minute. I don't know why I said that. So as Hand of the King, Ned hears a petition from some of House Tarly's bannermen concerning raiding in the holdfast by Gregor Clegane. Yeah, a bunch of Riverlanders show up to King's Landing, and they're like, dude, the mountain is just killing us all and burning all of our stuff. So, yeah, and then, so he strips Gregor, the Mountain Clegane, of all of his lands and titles and his life, and sends a force under Lord Beric Dondarrion to dispense the king's justice. Along with Alan, who I just did a video for, go check it out, Alan. Harwin is one of the guards that Eddard sends with Lord Beric Dondarrion to arrest and bring justice to Sir Gregor Clegane. When acting as a Lord of Winterfell, so now we're skipping ahead, Bran boasts hosts the Harvest Feast. He believes Harwin among the dead who never came back from the south. Yeah, he just assumes Harwin's dead, but he's not. So later on, this is the skip ahead. So this is like, we skip quite a bit. So that was like the end of Game of Thrones. We're skipping into Storm of Swords, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, skip a book. Arya traveled north for a little while, and then ended up at Harrenhal. She did all the Harrenhal stuff, meets Gendry, Yoren dies, all that stuff. Serves Roose Bolton at Harrenhal, all that. We're skipping all the way past that. So she's already out of Harrenhal, and she's with the Brotherhood without manners, right? I think I skipped too far. Yeah. Later on, during her travels with Gendry and Hot Pie through the Riverlands, Arya is gathering vegetables when she hears voices. Yeah, this is when she meets the Brotherhood. Sorry, I did explain. I over-explained like I normally do. She warns Gendry and Hot Pie. Then they try to hide, but one of the horses gives them away, and they are discovered by 3 men. Tom of Seven Streams, Lemon Cloak, who I've done a Let's Talk About the Difference for, and Anguy. I never know how to say his name. The men say they are Kingsmen and ask them to come with them to the nearby inn. Arya hesitates, but after Anguy shows how skilled he is with the bow, she realizes that they stand no chance, and they agree. Yeah, they're like, I don't want to go with you. And he's like, dude, I can shoot you. And she's like, all right, I guess we'll go. They all go to the Inn of the Kneeling Man, which is a really cool inn. So that's the Inn at the Kneeling Man is where the final King Torrhen Stark of the North kneeled to Aegon the Conqueror during the War of Conquest, and that's when Torrhen became Lord Torrhen Stark, and he is the king who knelt, and that's why they call the inn that's at that spot in the Riverlands where it happened the Inn of the Kneeling Man. Write all that down. All right. Oh man, why do I know this stuff? All right. I didn't even need to read that. So where was I? They all go to the inn at the Kneeling Man. He approaches, so Harwin approaches with others, and she thinks they are dangerous. So they're all inside, and Harwin is with a bunch of men who are coming up to the inn. The people in the inn are not worried about the guys who are walking up, but Arya is afraid that it's actually Gregor Clegane's men. So she slams a tankard full of, I'm assuming wine or beer or something, into Lem's face. Bam! Hits Lemon Cloak in the face, and then she tries to escape with no avail. The men outside come in among them. She notices Harwin. So it's not Gregor Clegane's men. It's actually more Brotherhood Without Banners. And that's when she meets Harwin. So again, he recognizes her and proclaims her real name and surprises everybody. They didn't know that they had Arya Stark. They just thought it was some kids, right? So yeah, Hot Pie has decided to stay there with Sharna as a baker for the inn. Sharna and her husband named Husband. The others depart River Run, so Tom tells Arya. Yeah, or so Tom tells Arya. So they depart for River Run. That's what Tom tells Arya. But of course, they're not going the River Run. They're going somewhere else. But yeah. So Harwin has this really cool reunion with Arya. So let's see how it goes. Whew, sorry, guys. I got so much here. What happened? What happened? What happened about me? Arya misses Hot Pie, but talking with Harwin makes up for it. Yeah, she misses talking with Hot Pie, but Harwin's pretty cool too, she guesses. She tells Harwin about what happened to his father Hullen, because she found him dying in the stables on the day that she fled King's Landing, right when the Lannisters kill Ned, or take Ned captive. You know what I'm talking about. To that, Harwin said he always said that he'd die in a stable. Sorry, I should do a Harwin, which I don't have a voice plan. Harwin, should I go with this? No, I think it should be a little more fun. Harwin, hey, whoa, okay, all right, how about this? Harwin. All right, here we go. He always said he'd die in a stable, but we all thought it would be by a bad-tempered stallion would be his death, not a pack of lions. All right, my Harwin needs some work, but I'm okay with it. She also tells him about her travels, but leaves out the men that she killed and the ones that she had Jack and killed. Yeah, she's like, this is all that happened, but she like leaves out kind of the darker stuff. He reveals that there are only 6 of the 20 guardsmen left from Winterfell's remaining, that they are all scattered, right? Harwin tells Arya the tale of how they all first rode out in search of Gregor Clegane, and about all the men that lost when Sir Gregor fell upon them. Most of the 120 men from the original group are dead, including Luther Manderly and Glad and Wild. It was a trap, my lady. Lord Tywin sent his mountain across the Red Fork with fire and sword, hoping to draw your Lord Father. He planned for Lord Eddard to come out west himself to deal with Gregor Clegane, but he would have But oh my God, I can't do this voice and I can't read. If he would have been killed or taken prisoner or traded for the imp. That was who was your mother's captive at the time. Only the Kingslayer never knew Lord Tywin's plan. When he heard of his brother's capture, he attacked your father on the streets of King's Landing. Arya says that she remembers because that's when Jory was killed. He killed the Jory, he agreed, and your father's leg was broken when the horse fell on him, so Lord Eddard could not go west. He sent Lord Beric instead with 20 of his own men, and 20 from Winterfell among with them. He goes on to tell of the Mummer's Ford and how Dondarrion and his men learned a sharp lesson when the trap sprung. Dondarrion should have died, having been run through a lance, but Thoros of Myr saved him. Yeah, this is like a giant monologue by Harwin, and I'm skipping some of it, but it is like a long, like most of this chapter is Harwin explaining to Arya what happened, right? Outlaws. Harwin goes on and speaks of when the Lannisters took over and Joffrey became king. That turned the whole world on its head. We've been sent out by the king's hand to deal with outlaws, you see, but now we were the outlaws, and Lord Tywin was hand of the king. There were some who wanted to yield, but Lord Beric wouldn't hear of it. We were still king's men. So is that what we were still king's men, I'm assuming. So, and these were the king's people the lions were savaging. If we could not fight for Robert, we would fight for them until every man of us were dead. And so we did. But as we fought, something queer happened. Every man we lost, 2 showed up to take his place. A few were knights or squires of gentle birth, but most were common men, field hands and fiddlers and innkeeps, servants and shoemakers, even 2 septons, men of all sorts and women too, children, dogs. To that Arya asks, dogs? And he confirms, saying that one of their lads keeps the meanest dog you'd ever see. I'm assuming he means the Mad Huntsman, but maybe not. She then wishes she had a dog. Yeah, who doesn't? His time in the Brotherhood has hardened him, and he has since grown out his beard. Okay, never mind. I guess he does have a beard and hair, and has become thinner. When Arya discovers that they mean to bring her before Beric, other than taking her to Riverrun, she tries to ride off. So she can ride very well, right? So she tries to escape them. This is after the monologue. Losing the others, but not Harwin, right? He can ride. He's the stable master's, the master of horse son, right? He can ride. He catches her and he goes, "You ride like a Northman, my lady. Your aunt was the same, but my father was master of horse, remember? Her father's man is now a member of the Brotherhood without banners, who he names as his brother." That's what he explains. Like, I used to be your father's man, but now these are my brothers, and I'm a member of the Brotherhood without banners, so I'm loyal to them. She agrees to ride peaceful back to the group. All right. Eddard and Ashara. Harwin takes part in the engagement with the brave companions at the Septree. Later, Arya speaks with Edric Dane. That's right, Dane from House Dane, who is called Ned like her father. He's not an Eddard, he's an Edric, but he still is called Ned. Edric tells her that he saw her father during the Hand's tourney while he squire for Lord Beric. So yeah, Edric Dane, Ned Dane, is Beric Dondarrion's squire. So he's with the Brotherhood without banners, and he rode out with them. And yeah, he's just little Ned Dane. He's cool. I'll cover Ned Dane eventually. Don't worry, guys. He reveals that Beric was promised to his aunt, and Ned then tells her about Wyla, his wet nurse, who he says is the mother of Jon Snow. Yeah, he goes, your half-brother, Jon Snow, is my milk brother. And she's like, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, Wylla breastfed him, and Wylla also breastfed me. Wylla was Jon Snow's mom. According, right? So she says that, or she has been in service for the Danes for years, and Ned is surprised, as a Ned Dane, that Arya's father never spoke of her, nor of Ashara, Ned's aunt, right? Ned Dane. I should have kept saying Edric. I'm talking about two Neds at the same time. He says, he tells Arya that her father and Ashara fell in love during the tourney at Harrenhal, and that she killed herself after the war because her heart was broken. So that's what the Danes think, right? Ashara, or at least that's what this Dane thinks. Arya does not believe the young Lord of Starfield, believing her father only loved her mother. She asks Harwin about it, and then Harwin reveals that he too heard the same rumor at Winterfell as a child, no older than she was. He confirms that Eddard and Ashara may have fallen in love at Harrenhal, but at that time, his brother Brandon was betrothed to Catelyn, so it's not a big deal. He claims that Ashara killed herself over the grief of her brother and tells Arya to let it lie, my lady. They are all dead, all of them. Yeah, so this is a really cool scene where Ned Dane tells Arya about Ashara, and then Harwin has to be like, guys, don't worry about it. Like, none of this matters anymore. Everybody in that story is dead. Yeah, so he tries to squash it. So yeah. Lady Stoneheart's man. Later, after the Red Wedding, right? So this is way later on. Arya dreams that she is running with a pack of wolves every night. So this one, she's already in Bravos. But no, she's not. She's captured by Sandor. So this is right after the Red Wedding when she's still just captured by Sandor. So by day, she is still the Hound's captive. Arya dreams the wolf dream again, and she watches as the other wolves feast on corpses by the river. She follows the scent that leads her to her mother's body and pulls it from the river. So she is pulling Catelyn Stark. So Arya is warged into Nymeria and is pulling the body of her mom, Catelyn Stark / Tully, out of the river, right? So looking at the corpse, Arya's wolf sense thinks, rise and eat and run with us. So Nymeria is trying to raise Catelyn up, right? Like, get up, come on. Then the pack notices men approaching and flees. So when the body of Catelyn Stark, the one that Nymeria, the direwolf, just pulled out of the river, is found by the Brotherhood, Harwin asks Thoros of Myr to revive her like what he does with Beric. But Thoros refuses. However, Beric Dondarrion follows Harwin's request and revives her, giving his own life. So he transfers the life from inside himself into Catelyn Stark's body, and she rises as Lady Stoneheart. So there we go. Harwin is listed as being part of Lady Stoneheart's band of outlaws. So we think that Harwin is loyal to Lady Stoneheart. But when the Brotherhood captures Brienne Tarth later on, a young Northman wearing greasy sheepskin. There is a young Northman wearing greasy sheepskin jerkin who may be Harwin. Interprets interprets Stoneheart's rattled speech to the captive Brienne. So yeah, so when Brienne Tarth is being held captive by Lady Stoneheart / Catelyn with the other Brotherhood without banners, she thinks this guy wearing the sheepskin jerkins, or we might think it is slightly described as Harwin, although that is detested. And I don't know if I bring that up here, but yeah, I don't think I don't bring that up here, but I can't remember how it goes, but in one of the drafts, it's described as him, but in another draft, it isn't. But a lot of people don't think that they are. We're not sure if that is Harwin. So Harwin might be with Brienne and Lady Stoneheart in this chapter, or he might have already been somewhere else. Anyways, moving on. That's all we have for Harwin. I, of course, have my theories, and I got quite a lot. Harwin's a popular guy. Whew, man, I'm getting a little lightheaded. I've been going for a while. Big video. The Hooded Harwin. There are a few Harwin theories out there. I'll start with the lesser known one from M. Toodles on Reddit from 4 years ago called Bran's Attempted Assassination and Harwin. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this one. This is a tinfoil theory. This tinfoil connects the well-known connects the thing well-known that, why did I say well-known? That his dad said in the first chapter about giving pups the gift of mercy, that maybe it was Harwin that hires the cat's paw to do the same for Bran. Yeah, so remember, that's why I brought up the first chapter so much and brought up Harwin in it and described it so much. Harwin and Hullen, his dad, well, Hullen's like, you guys can't take those puppies. And then he's like, you should give them the gift of mercy, right? So the killing of a direwolf pups for mercy. So there is a fan theory that it's Harwin, not Joffrey, which I'm not sure, or Littlefinger, whoever else you think hired the cat's paw. It was actually Harwin that did it out of mercy. Yeah, I hate this. I think this is crazy, and yeah, I don't think it's true at all. Maybe you think this one, and I'm not trying to disparage this Reddit guy. I think it's great, M Toodles or girl, I don't know, that they put forth this, but I don't buy it. All right, I think it's crazy. The most well-known theory of Harwin, of course, is that he is the Hooded Man of Winterfell. There is a Westeros.org post from 2017 by Budakin, all right, Badukin, called Harwin is the Hooded Man. There we go. That puts forth evidence that there are, of course, puts forth evidence. And there are, of course, many Hooded Man posts and vids that put forth Harwin as the Hooded Man. And to mention just a few. All right, so let's talk about the Hooded Man really quick. So before I talk about all these theories, but the Hooded Man of Winterfell is a character in one of Theon's chapters way late in the book, where Theon runs into this guy who's hooded and we can't see his face. And he says a bunch of stuff to Theon. He calls him a kinslayer, and he calls him like a bunch of stuff, calls him a turncloak, all this stuff. So there's a bunch of theories on who this Hooded Man is. There's theories like it's all just in Theon's head, or maybe it's, Robert Glover, or maybe it's Harwin, or maybe it's this guy or that guy, or, whoever. So there's a lot of theories. I believe there's a crazy one that is Maester Luwin's ghost. I think that's an interesting nerd club one. All right. Or at least maybe I heard it from them during a video with them. All right, so so this is put forth in many videos. So just to mention a couple videos that you can check out, there is the Who is the Hooded Man of Winterfell by Bridge4, who mentions Harwin but dismisses it very quickly. Yeah, so he's talking about the Hooded Man, and then he goes, maybe it's Harwin, and then he immediately goes, this is why I don't think it's Harwin. And then there is the Hooded Man, Who is the Ghost in Winterfell by Alt-Shift-X, which I don't need to tell you guys who Alt-Shift-X is. He is, probably the biggest Song of Ice and Fire YouTuber, and I'm one of the smallest. So you guys know who he is. He also mentions Harwin as a suspect, and the only thing he says against it is that Theon would recognize Harwin. But it is possible, since he is thinner and he also has grown a beard out, so he does look different. Like Arya mentions that Harwin looks different. So Shifty thinks it's possible. Also, pretty much a thematic similarity of Arya's chapters and her storyline is identity. Like, she constantly changes her name. And then Theon has a very similar thematic theme of identity, because he's constantly telling himself that he is Theon, he is not Reek. Or when he's like, remember your name, Reek, remember it rhymes with freak, it rhymes with bleak. And then later on he goes, remember that you are Theon. And then he also tells like Jane Poole, like, remember your name. Like, identity is a really big thematic thing through both Theon's chapters and Arya's. So the fact that he doesn't recognize Harwin would make sense, because he doesn't even like recognize Asha, or Asha doesn't recognize Theon. So there's a lot of recognizing things going on. You guys know, you know what I'm saying. So it still could be Harwin, because the whole recognition and identity thing is a big theme through Theon and Arya's chapters. Oh my God, that was a lot to just say all at once. Okay, so yeah, I'll give you guys links to both of those, right? But of course, there are many theories on the Hooded Man and many posts and vids on him. Those are just a couple, and those are the ones that I wanted to, you know, put forth. There are other ones, but they do specifically mention Harwin, and one of them dismisses it right away, and the other guy, Ulship kind of explores that a little more. Okay, there you guys go. Big video. And also, like I said, this is the last one I'm filming here in the corner of my bedroom in our house before we buy and move into this new house. So yeah, so this is the last time I'm filming in here. So say goodbye to this background. Thank you guys if you made it this far. You are amazing. Thank you for watching my stuff. Please click like, subscribe. Thanks for all the support, and I hope when I move to the new house, you guys are still there supporting me. So yeah. There we go. Thank you for watching. I already said all that, and I will put the link for the Bridge 4 video for the Hooded Man and the Alt Shift X one. All right, cool. Peace.